Back in my day, machines didn't exist in Dungeons & Dragons. GameMasters here, and I've always loved the concept of adding machines to my Dungeons & Dragons campaigns. Steampunk style has always been cool, and when I ran across the Cadaver Collector in Mordenkainen Presents Monsters of the Multiverse, I knew instantly that I had to toss one of these into my game, and my players loved it. The Cadaver Collector is an ancient war machine that roams without direction across Archeon. Archeon is an outer plane first showing up way back in the 1980s. It's not referenced much, but it makes sense that it's mentioned here in Mordenkainen's multiverse. What with this, of course, being a book of monsters from that multiverse. This collector gathers up the fallen dead and would impale them into their spiky bits. And yeah, sometimes they even grab the wounded and toss them up on top as well. And these corpses, they're not trophies, but instead they're more like batteries. I'll explain. The Cadaver Collector can summon the spirits of those cadavers to fight against its enemies. And while the spirits are not super strong individually, there's a lot of them. And depending on the amount of dead the Collector has gathered, those spirits could be endless. Now, every now and again, a necromancer will summon a Cadaver Collector into the material plane to help bolster the ranks of an army. And it can only return to Archeon should the summoner send it back. And in the event that said summoner dies before being able to send the Collector back, well, that Cadaver Collector will simply roam the material plane, possibly for centuries. And this is how one of them came to exist in my campaign. And again, my players loved it. In fact, I'd love that if you are enjoying this video to give that like button a tap. It really helps to get my videos out there in front of more eyes, and it takes just a second. And I thank you kindly for that. The Cadaver Collector is a large construct of lawful evil alignment and has a strength of 21, a dexterity of 14, Constitution is 20, Intelligence is a mere 5, Wisdom is 11, and Charisma is 8. And it has a challenge rating of 14. It has the following damage immunities: necrotic, poison, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing, and non-magical weapons that aren't adamantine. So just roll up a Wolverine-type character. The Cadaver Collector cannot be charmed, exhausted, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, or poisoned, and it has dark vision of 60 feet. It has magic resistance, giving it advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects, and it does not require air, food, drink, or sleep. This collector can make 2 slam attacks, which can deal 3d8 plus 5 bludgeoning damage plus 3d10 necrotic damage. It also has paralyzing breath. In essence, it releases a paralyzing gas in a 30-foot cone. Creatures in that cone must make a DC 18 Constitution check, else they're paralyzed for 1 minute. As a bonus action, the Cadaver Collector can summon specters. This is what we were talking about earlier. It can summon the spirits of the corpses on its little spiky bits, and they will use the Spectre guidelines found in the monster manual. These guys are some pretty nasty monsters to throw against players, and if you'd like to see more monsters from Mordenkainen Presents Monsters of the Multiverse, check out our playlist here. Even though this machine doesn't require air, what do you think would happen to it if players lured it into deep water? Would it shut down or simply trudge along the bottom? Would it be able to summon animal spirits if it gathered up animal corpses? Let me know in the comments below, and until next our paths cross, may you find a weapon made of adamantin.